No spoilers. But I took a sheet of notes during this movie, and then the ending happened. And now I don't even know which of these notes are relevant. Let me say up front again, this review has no spoilers. I'm not going to try to do any clever wink-wink comments, because this is one of those movies where you'll want to go in knowing as little as possible. That's what I did. And where I thought the movie was going to go and where it went, just that far apart. In Archive, the year is 2038, and George is secretly working on the latest prototype for an AI that will resemble the personality of his deceased wife. Moreover, he is actually still able to speak with said deceased wife. Basically, some people are able to sign up with this company called Archive. And when the person dies, Archive will put their consciousness onto a server, or a box, where the person will have up to 200 hours of communication time left. This lets the deceased wrap up affairs and say goodbye. Now again, George has developed 3 prototypes. There's a big hulking block of a robot that doesn't really speak, but communicates with robotic WALL-E type noises. The second robot, J2, can speak just fine. She looks a lot like the robot from I Am Mother. And then there's the third robot, J3, which I had only seen it on the poster. And when you see it in the movie for the first time, it knocks you back a little. How simultaneously cool and alarming this thing looks. But it's the middle child, J2, that steals the show. J2 might be the most sympathetic character in the movie. She's clearly jealous of George's preferences for J3 over her. Remember Weebo from Flubber? I don't know why, maybe it's the jealous robot arc, but J2 kind of reminded me of that. Only it's 1,000 times more depressing here. Toby Jones is also in this as an Archive executive, and there's just something about that guy. He can be the smallest guy in the room, no guns, nothing, and yet still with his mere presence and vocal tone command the most attention and authority. The rest of the acting is pretty good. The only performance that stood out to me in a negative way was George's boss, who was overacting a little bit, and she obviously filmed her video conference scenes by herself, not able to act off anyone, and I don't think she found the right tone because of that. As for the look of the film, Archive has a lower budget for a sci-fi film, but the cinematography is gorgeous. At one point, George ventures out to the city and things become a little too Blade Runner on a budget, but the design of J3 is captivating. I mean, you cannot stop staring at it. And then there's a sequence where an AI is being, I'll just say, built, and I couldn't look away from the screen. I was trying to take notes, but I was just so mesmerized by it. This montage and what was happening. As for the pros and cons, no spoilers, but the movie's final 10 minutes will change your opinion on the other 99, for better or worse. I had a list of cons that the twist turned moot. For instance, things that didn't really make sense to me at first. Everyone is treating George's AI work as innovative. But at the rate he's making innovation in just 5 years, if his work is that innovative, how is he developing all this so quickly? His AI robot technology goes from a big hunk of metal to a humanoid in just a couple of years. How? And there are security threats and breaches that the movie just breezes over, or maybe takes less seriously than one would expect. And then the ending comes. Now, I'm not going to say what happens, but I don't know if I like it. It shocked me, so points for that, I guess. That said, there's a slight twist before the big twist. And I can see some people complaining that they saw the slight twist coming, but that twist, the small one, feels like a more natural conclusion to what's happening. It almost feels like the screenwriter wrote that smaller twist, and then was afraid someone was going to guess it. So they're like, well, let's see if they can guess this, and they wrote something more out there. That's probably not what happened in real life, I don't know, but it felt like it to me. Like the movie was going in one direction and someone decided to go big or go home, and they gave it a huge twist that maybe wasn't the natural progression. After the movie, I searched online to see theories about the ending. I wanted to know if others thought the ending made sense. And the consensus seemed to be kind of mixed. Archive is like an episode of Black Mirror with a Shyamalan twist. Now, if you enjoy either of those things, chances are you'll find Archive worth watching at least once. As for me, I thought it was alright. I give it 3 out of 4 stars. If you enjoyed this review, please click like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Until next time, this has been Josh with Movies Please. Have a safe and productive day. That's a reference to in the movie. If you saw the movie, you'd understand that. But anyway.